I never imagined that the HOA's unauthorized bridge across my property would become my ticket to millions, turning their overreach into my ultimate triumph. What would you do if your neighbor's intrusion onto your land unexpectedly paved the way to financial freedom? Let me know where you're reading from in the comments below. It all started when I stood in disbelief, watching strangers in yellow vests survey my stream. My hands trembled with fury as I stormed down the hill toward them. This was my land. 3 beautiful, wooded acres I'd earned through 15 years of overtime and careful saving. I chose Pine Hollow Estates for its seclusion, despite the HOA's strict rules, because the property maps promised privacy. "Excuse me, what do you think you're doing on my land?" I shouted, struggling to keep my voice calm. A worker glanced up, uneasy. "Just following orders, sir. The HOA approved this bridge last month." "What bridge?" No one told me anything about a bridge. My peaceful morning had spiraled into a nightmare. "Take it up with MS. Carter," he said, nodding toward a woman in a sharp blue blazer near my property line. Linda Carter, the HOA president, stood there, her silver earrings glinting in the sun, clipboard in hand, barking orders like a drill sergeant. She had a reputation for bulldozing objections. I marched over, clutching my property deed. "Linda, there's been a mistake. You can't build here without my say-so." She barely glanced up. "Oh, David, the board voted last month. This bridge will link us to the park and boost property values." It was in the newsletter. "I never got a newsletter, and you're on my land without permission or permits. That's illegal." Her lips curled into a patronizing smile. "Don't be so dramatic. It's a little footbridge for everyone's benefit. The stream's under our easement rights." "No, it's not," I shot back, waving my deed. She dismissed it with a flick of her hand. "Funds are allocated. Construction starts tomorrow. You'll love it when it's done." My blood boiled as she strutted off. Nearby neighbors avoided my gaze. They'd seen it all. That night, I called my friend Rachel, a real estate lawyer. "They can't do this," she said after reviewing my documents. "Your deed's clear. You own up to the stream's north edge. I'll draft a cease and desist letter." She delivered it the next morning, but by dawn, construction equipment roared onto my land. I snapped photos, an excavator tearing into my wetland, workers pounding posts into my stream, Linda overseeing it all with a smug grin. The crew ignored my letter, muttering, "Just following orders." By week's end, concrete footings flanked my stream. Neighbors watched, some glaring at me like I was the bad guy. I filed a complaint with the county zoning office. The next day, my mailbox overflowed with angry notes. "Stop blocking progress, and think of others for once." Linda had turned the neighborhood against me. At the store, people who once smiled now avoided me. Someone even scrawled "selfish" on my mailbox. "They're isolating you," Rachel warned. "Don't engage, just document." So I set up security cameras, catching Linda leading neighbors on tours of my stream bank, boasting, "This bridge will unite us. If only some weren't so selfish." 2 weeks in, I noticed new surveyor marks beyond my assumed property line. Checking my deed, I realized Linda used outdated maps. My hired surveyor confirmed it. "They're encroaching 12 feet past your boundary." Armed with this, I confronted Linda at her house. "Your bridge isn't just unauthorized. It's deeper onto my land than you think." Her face stiffened. "Surveys can be interpreted differently. The community needs this." By ignoring property rights, I kept calm. The board voted. "It's happening." She slammed her door. That night, an unknown caller said, "Are you fighting the Pine Hollow Bridge?" "I'm Sarah Thompson, County Environmental Inspector. That stream's a protected watershed. They need permits they don't have." We met the next day. As the sun set, I watched workers pour more concrete, unaware their project was about to hit a wall, and I held the leverage to flip the script. The next morning, I woke to cheers. Peeking out, I saw Linda with neighbors in hard hats, posing by the half-built bridge, passing champagne at 8 a.m. on my land. "To community progress," Linda toasted. My hands shook as I recorded their trespassing. This was a challenge now. I stepped outside. Nice surprise, I didn't know I was hosting a party. Linda's smile didn't falter. "Join us, David. It's for everyone." "Everyone but the owner who never agreed," I replied. "You ignored my cease and desist." Mrs. Larson from down the street shifted uncomfortably. Linda said it was all legal. Did she mention the environmental inspector who says this violates watershed rules? Linda snapped. He's bluffing. I kept filming. My lawyer will love this footage. The crowd scattered, leaving Linda alone. You're making enemies, she hissed. That afternoon, my tires were slashed. The cameras missed it, but the message was clear. I called Rachel. They're rushing to finish before our injunction. Judge Peterson's stalling us. Linda's pulling strings. The next day, steel beams arrived at sunrise. Linda waved as she drove by. That night, an envelope held photos of past HOA foes. One harassed into leaving, another hit with uninsured flooding. I couldn't sleep. If they finished, would a judge undo it? At 11:30 p.m., a man called. I'm Michael Grayson, Riverside Development. That bridge could be worth millions to the right buyer. What? Meet me tomorrow, Oak Street Coffee, 9 a.m. Bring your docs. Michael slid a folder across the table. The townships wanted to link their trails to your park for years. This bridge does it, if you grant access rights. I flipped through, stunned. The HOA built something valuable, but I control it. Exactly. The townships budgeted millions for this next year. I left with a plan. Let them build, document every violation, then cash in. At home, construction sped up. Linda eyed me suspiciously as I called out. Looking great. Got Army Corps approval for that waterway. Her treasurer paled. You said we didn't need it. He's bluffing, Linda barked. I shrugged. Check federal regs. Over the next week, I gathered ammo, watershed violation reports, no permits, Linda's fake claim of my consent. The bridge neared completion, lights, railings, a grand opening Saturday sign. Friday misses. Larson called. Linda's panicking at an emergency meeting. She wants us to sign liability waivers. Don't, I said. Come tomorrow, it'll be eye-opening. Saturday dawned clear. Linda wielded giant scissors for the ribbon cutting, local news filming. Neighbors eyed me warily. Then a black SUV arrived. County zoning, environmental, and township officials stepped out. Linda froze. What's this? Someone whispered. I grinned. We're about to see who really owns this bridge and its value. 3 days later, a certified letter from the HOA's lawyers accused me of obstructing progress, claiming implied consent since I didn't physically stop workers. They threatened lawsuits. Rachel laughed. They're scared. Implied consent isn't real. We've got proof. That night, Linda appeared at my door, weary. We'll buy an easement for $25,000. I slid her offer back. Reasonable? Appraisers say this bridge makes my land worth millions to the township. Her jaw clenched. We won't be extorted. You built on protected wetlands, I said. Fines could sink you. She stormed off as my phone rang. Township Manager Paul Rivera, $7 million for your land and rights. Council voted tonight. I'll think it over, I said loudly. Linda's eyes widened. Flyers hit every door but mine. Emergency HOA meeting, threat to community. County officials soon posted stop work orders at the bridge. A reporter, tipped by Michael, interviewed me, exposing the HOA's $25,000 offer against the township's $7 million. Linda raged as the story broke. HOA bridge halted. Environmental clash. Calls flooded in. Neighbors, developers, even Linda's husband. I planned to donate part of the land for a tax break, preserving the wetlands while selling access. At the packed emergency meeting, Linda pointed at me. He's profiteering. I stood with my team, county, environmental, township reps, and Rachel. Slides showed my survey, trespassing photos, and violations. Officials confirmed no permits, watershed damage, and the township's trail vision boosting values 30%. Fines loomed at $320,000 to $1.2 million. That's $15,000 per home, I noted. Chaos erupted. Neighbors apologized. Linda's board crumbled. She resigned on live TV next morning. The township offered $7.8 million, waiving fines if the HOA cooperated. I spoke last. I wanted peace, not a fight. I'll sell, but 10%, $780,000, goes to a trail trust. Applause broke out. 3 weeks later, I signed, netting $7.02 million. Neighbors gave me a framed preserve sign, my name on the trail. Linda admitted her error as I left for my HOA-free beach condo. Standing my ground turned an invasion into a legacy.